Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Olivet City Council meeting for July 8th, 2025. Can we please have roll call?
Mayor Clark,
Here.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil,
Here.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Here.
Councilmember Pashan Hellman,
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Here.
Do we have any communications to share at this time?
I have no written communications.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to have the city manager give her report at this time.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. So as the first meeting of the month, we're going to talk about Olive Crossing. And hopefully many of you have driven by and seen the structural steel that not only was delivered, but has been erected. They've also completed the utilities for the site. They have put in the rebar, which is this picture right here, for the patio retaining wall. And then they are starting exterior framing. They're going to connect the electrical to the transformer, and then they're going to pour the foundation for that retaining wall and the interior stairs. So they are continuing to move forward on lot 3. Lot 5, in speaking with the developer actually today, he has some exciting news that he has come to terms with a restaurant for the north half of lot 5. So assuming all goes well, I think that's what he's going to move forward with on lot 5 is that restaurant option instead of the office option. He is a little ahead of schedule for the term sheet that the council gave him. So that's good news. And once he has, in fact, got the lease signed, then he'll be able to disclose the name of the restaurant. So we will wait to see on that. And then lot 6, they are still on track to submit their plans by September 1st for review by staff and then to the PCDC meeting in accordance with the terms that the council put forward earlier this year. So there is some movement at Olive Crossing. And then of course, lot 1 and 2, which is Aldi, that is complete, as is lot 4, which is the Clover. Coffee with the Mayor is tomorrow morning at 5 Oaks at 8:30, and our representative from Republic Services, who is the city's trash, yard waste, and recycling provider, Joelle Aguiar, she will be there to discuss not only services provided by Republic, but they do have some new recycling information and initiatives that she will also be sharing. So we would invite everybody to come out to meet with Joelle. We still have one opening for the Parks and Rec Commission. We also have a pension seat that will become vacant. So we would take any applicants who are interested in either of those commissions to fill out the information and let us know. There are a bunch of things going on for Parks and Rec month, which is in the month of July. One of, I think, probably the more fun, given the heat, will be the Splish, Splash, and Popsicle Dash. It's a drop-in event. It is free on Wednesday, July 23rd from 5 to 6 p.m. at the splash pad at Warson Park. So I think it would be fun to do that. And I think as we talked about having council member representation, are there council members who may be able to attend that or take their kids there, or you yourself are allowed to get in the splash pad? There are no age limits. Okay.
Right.
And then we also have some additional upcoming events. One is Chalk the Walk, which appears to be a multi-day, come as you are, grab some sidewalk chalk, the 17th through the 20th of July, again at 5 Oaks. And then the Saints Throwback Skate is August 16th at Five Oaks. If you are not aware, where Five Oaks is used to be the Saints roller rink. And so we're having a skating party at Five Oaks. Family skate 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., 21 and older, skating from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So again, this would be a great opportunity for a council member to come and be there with your families or with yourselves and relive your childhood. And then again, the Decades Trivia, again, celebrating 60 years of the Parks and Recreation. Saturday, September 6th, again at Five Oaks. Doors open at 6, trivia at 7, ages 21 and up. So here's some events to add to your social calendar. And then again, I always encourage everybody to sign up for This Week in Olivet. That shows all the things that are going on in the city. And then we have some upcoming meetings on the screen in front of you. And then there was a request by a council member in November. The city clerk sent information about meetings that had been canceled at the beginning of the year. And so there's a suggestion to put a placeholder for November 18th, which is typically the off Tuesday. Otherwise, you would only have one work session in November. So if on your calendars, if you would put a placeholder, because November 11th is Veterans Day and City Hall's closed. And then your next regularly scheduled meeting would be the week of Thanksgiving. And so that the council chose to cancel that meeting. So if you'll put a placeholder in your calendars for the 18th of November, as we get closer, we'll know if there's something pressing that we really need to have that November meeting or not. We can bring that to you. But otherwise, I can answer any questions, Mr. Mayor. Okay.
Thank you very much. At this point, we're going to ask our council members for their reports. Council Member Solomonov, do you have any report to share with us today?
I have nothing to report at this time.
All right, Council Member Pishon Hellman.
Yes, I attended the EDC, the Economic Development Commission, on June 30th and got some excellent information from our planning team about statistics for businesses in Olivet, specifically information that they collect that relates to business licenses. And so just some interesting information, 85% of businesses at that time had renewed their licenses, and the money collected from these licenses accounts for about 200,000 of our general fund revenue. And there was some discussion at the meeting about the structure for how these license fees are calculated. And there was a suggestion that perhaps the council could look into the fee structure and evaluate if it's still serving us the way that we would like it to or not, or if there might be an update that's possible. And then learned that the largest type of business in Olivet are the professional, scientific, and technical types of businesses, but the biggest employers in Olivet are the construction businesses. So just really interesting information. Staff also presented on the number of distressed commercial properties along the Olive Corridor, and really trying to work to get these business owners to improve their buildings and comply with the city's building standards. But there's a recognition that we could use additional levers to help improve compliance with building standards and regulations. So that's another potential thing that the council could evaluate, if there's some creative options and tools that we could help planning staff come up with in order to encourage and foster greater compliance, because obviously it's in everyone's best interest that these distressed properties get improved, and that business owners are taking the time and the money that they need in order to invest in their properties.
Okay, Councilmember Lewis.
Yes, thank you. We had the planning PCDC on June 26th, and a couple of items to call out. There's one that's going to come before us today on a special use permit for Emerson. So I'll let that come when it gets read. There was further discussion on tree ordinances. One of the things PCDC has been looking at is how do we deal with trees when a new home is being built and somebody's destroying, like tearing down a house. And then part of that, when you build a larger house, is you're actually impacting a significant amount of trees, not just from the footprint of the house being larger, which happens, but also from construction and running new lines and things like that. So they're actually trying to put in some ordinances similar to what other cities have, and that'll eventually come back to us as well for approval, but it's difficult figuring out the math. What is the right way to do it? Do you do it by trunk size? Do you do it by coverage? What is the right math formula for that? And then further, we have to discuss, that's for new houses, but do we want, as a council, to put anything in place for existing homes in the existing, because it's a slippery slope a little bit, but it's an interesting conversation as part of our comprehensive plan, part of what we want in terms of sustainability in the city. And then last is because there are new members to PCDC, ones that have we just approved and also we're approving tonight as well. Mr. Trejo has asked city attorney to join a future session. I'm not sure if that's been fully worked out, to help kind of explain the role of PCDC, what our role is, how that can, in the government, what authority they have and so forth. So that'll help, I think, quite a bit with onboarding for a lot of people. So
Okay.
that's all I have.
Mayor Pro Tem Weil.
I have not had any meetings since our last one.
Okay. And nor have I have not had any meetings since our last one as well. So we'll go forward to item number 5, hearing from citizens. Are there any citizens who wish to speak at this time? Give it time.
Is it on now? There we go. My name's Sue Rich, A927 Hilltop Manor Drive. I'm here to ask the council if you have any way to encourage the construction in the city to be mindful of the residents and the businesses around the construction. Specifically, I'm talking of Irvington Apartment Complex. They're doing a significant amount of utility work, and they are blocking and closing Alice at different times on different days because of the narrowness of the street, the utility work, and then the construction materials being delivered. So if you have any influence at all to encourage them, that we're using that for emergency access, et cetera. And it, like I said, in the last 2 weeks, there's been at least 2 cases where the street was completely shut down. And in the last 2 weeks, almost every day, there's 1 lane blocked on Price where they're doing utility work and 1 lane blocked on Alice. So I don't know what you can do to remind them that there are residents and other things going on. Thanks.
Hi, Laura Ragsdale, 40 Queensbrook Place. I spoke in front of the council, and I know some members are new since then, about an ongoing issue over in my neighborhood. I live over in Queensbrook, kind of over by Hartkey as you head towards Five Oaks. It is regarding a property diagonal from me, to the point that they have 3 vehicles. 2 of them have not moved in, will be 5 years, the first week of August when I moved there. Not one of the vehicles is licensed with current plates. There's a tree growing out of their garage roof. Their grass did not get mowed once last summer in their backyard. It was over my waist tall. Their bushes and shrubbery on the side of their house is now at my waist. I just emailed some photos that I took today to the little communication at Olivet So if you want to pull those up, you can. They removed a trailer out of the driveway yesterday, and the pile of garbage that was hidden behind it is now in full visibility. They put a cover on 2 of the cars a week ago to try to block that they aren't licensed. It has been going through the courts. The judge has given them 30 days and then 30 more days. And at some point, enough's enough. And I'm here complaining, and I know that, and I know like, I don't know what else can be done. Like, something's got to change. They won't respond to the HOA. They obviously have gone to court and they don't care. They ignored the letters for a while. They've gone to court. They've asked for extension. They've gotten 2 extensions. Like, I shouldn't have to look at this for 5 years. Neighbors shouldn't have to look at it. They currently, the house that's behind them is one of those brand new houses over, like, I think it's like Forsythia that wraps around. One of the really nice, pretty houses that has a swimming pool. Like, it's a gorgeous house. And like, that's what they stare at, is these people's backyard that is as tall as my waist. Like, it's just not okay. And I don't know if the council can encourage the municipal court system to not let them have any more continuances. Like, something needs to change. And slapping a car cover over a car that can't be moved isn't a solution. It's just putting a bow on it. Like, they moved the trailer. They couldn't back the car out of the driveway to get the trailer. They drug it through the yard yesterday. And I guess I've seen it for 5 years, and I know my time went up and I'll be finished in a minute, but I'm a teacher, and this is the first summer in 26 years I haven't worked. So I look at it every day now and watching it every day. And I'm just like, okay. And then when you're literally watching them pull a trailer across the yard because they can't move the cars to get to the trailer, there's a problem. So thank you for listening, and hopefully something can be done to encourage the courts to move along with it, and maybe you can put a little pressure that way. Thank you.
Hello, Bill Hanson, 817 North Price. I'd like to actually first thank the police. We had an incident middle of last week where there was a pretty big sized dog, and I've got 2 Great Danes, so when I say big sized dog, you get an idea, who came running up towards us. Called the dog was very friendly, called the non-emergency. An officer was there within about half an hour, and realizing it's not emergency, I thought that was very quick. The reason I'm bringing this up is because talking with the officer, was little they can do. They called St. Louis County, who basically has the option of taking the dogs to the county place over on Watson, or not Watson, sorry, Warson, which unfortunately has had a bad history in the last several months. There was in my request to the city council, and obviously this isn't a high priority, but if we could work with St. Louis County to see if there's a better way. The county couldn't send anybody out to assist. So basically I had to take a dog that I literally found on the side of the road and take it to the APA because there was no other way to handle the dog. And it's not an Olivet issue, but if there was a way that we could get a better communication, I think that would be very helpful for future situations. Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak? Okay, we're going to go on to item number 6, bill number 3048. Can we please have that read?
Bill 3048, an ordinance of the City of Olivet, Missouri, amending chapters 240 and 375, sections 240.020 and 375.010 through 375.011 adding definitions to alternative vehicles and adding operational regulations and restricted uses. First reading.
Good evening, council, Mayor Beth Andruski, Chief of Police.
Beverly Tucker Knight, Parks and Recreation Director.
So I figure we would just discuss this together. So again, this is the first reading on this. I believe Beverly maybe next time is going to bring some slides because the Parks Department does have some signage that is going to be associated with these two changes in chapters. Obviously, it's a little bit lengthy if you guys have not had the time to read through it. But just to give you guys a little bit of background, take a couple minutes, but Parks Department, obviously, with updates to the parks and the Greenway, have seen an increase in especially e-bicycles coming through, younger kids on e-bicycles and different devices, and some complaints associated with that. The police department also has had some complaints, concerns come into the police department regarding especially underage juveniles riding on e-bikes and different devices. And of course, a safety concern, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. So it kind of prompted us, Beverly had already been looking at some park regulations as far as speed limits. So it kind of prompted us to work together and look at both of these chapters, since it's something that is going to impact police and the Parks Department. And doing that, we realized that some of the language was just outdated because last time 375 at least was looked at was 2008. Obviously, things have changed. Recreational vehicles has changed. So it was best that we kind of worked together and made sure that that language with the Parks Department and these chapters were consistent. And to give the police, a little bit a better idea of what to tell the community as far as what's allowed and not allowed. And the language was not clear based on some of the old language, and same thing with the Parks Department. And we did send, the city manager has also reviewed these, and Ms. Carr has reviewed some of these changes as well. So again, it gives us a little bit of foundation to be able to present the community with best practices and what actually these ordinances say. Again, especially regarding the juveniles, which is where, of course, we get the most concern and complaints coming in from.
So you've seen probably in the latest city newsletter, public education is an important part of this. So we have infographics going out, and then we'll start putting posters out in the parks to educate people about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. And then we will be putting up signage in the parks. We want to keep bicycles off of all of our new hiking trails that aren't paved and encourage them to use the paved pathways at the appropriate speed limit.
And the recommended speed limit is
15 miles an hour. Not to exceed 15, that's not necessarily always appropriate, but it's a pretty standard speed limit.
Again, I think some of this was kind of trying to find that balance too of, of course, the city is encouraging of, greener practices overall, but in trying to find that kind of balance of encouraging the use of those types of vehicles along with public safety and safety in the parks. So.
What kind of fines or penalties will be assessed for people who violate that rule?
So that would be beyond us to establish those set of fines, but the changes in ordinance do allow for the police department to issue citations, which some of the language prior to this was a little off as far as issuing warnings versus citations. As far as fines, though, that would be out of the police jurisdiction to determine those fines.
Understood.
And it allows you to cite parents of.
Correct. It does allow us to cite parents for basically, in some situations, again, not to get into the weeds too far on it, but to cite the parents who would be allowing their kids to essentially violate the ordinances.
And does this ordinance just apply to the motorized alternative vehicles on park grounds, or does it also apply when you have minors who are writing on streets?
So it would apply throughout the city. And as far as going into the parks, it's just kind of that language that we worked on being consistent. So the park would have their own regulations, but the ordinances, changes in ordinances would be enforced citywide.
So chapter 240.020 are the park rules. That's why they're doing it together. So those are changes to the park rules. And then chapter 375 deals with vehicles on the right of way. So that's why they were amending both sections so that it applies and has similar rules both for in the parks and on the roads.
Mhm. Yeah, when we started looking at the definitions of these different vehicles and with all the changes that have come, it didn't make sense to have definitions in parks, but not have them in the motor vehicle code. So that's why we do it together so that the definitions are uniform across the board. And again, education is our primary goal here, not to do punitive citations, but to really work with the community to understand what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, what's safe and what's unsafe.
Question, how can you tell between a class 1 and 2 bike versus a class 3? I know the regulations are different. The
Right.
two types.
They're required by law to be labeled. So as long as the manufacturer's stickers have not been removed from the bicycle, then we can tell.
Okay,
I think this is really great. It's important for our community, for safety, for clarity. So I'm glad this is coming before us.
it's come a long way since Kate and I were on the Parks and Rec Commission.
Yes, you guys were in on the ground floor.
We did have to question what some of the old language was supposed to mean.
Yeah.
So
We've been talking about it a long time.
I think this is something on the radar for a lot of cities in the area, just with some of the changes in popularity with some of the e-devices. So
Yes, yeah, it's a big discussion for all the Parks and Rec directors in the region. And then the Greenway's actually started a group of Parks and Rec directors that are going to work with them at looking at best practices across the Greenways for everything. This is just a tiny bit of that, but I think it's really nice the way everyone wants to be consistent and have clear understanding for everybody.
Okay. Do we have any other questions, council? Okay, so second reading is going to be July 22nd.
That's correct.
Okay, so
All right.
thank you very much, ladies.
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right, we're going on to item number 7, bill number 3049. If we can have that read, please.
Bill 3049, an ordinance authorizing a special permit to Fisher Rosemont Systems Incorporated, doing business as Emerson, to contain outdoor storage of material and equipment on the property ground addressed as 9315 Olive Boulevard, zoned LID, Light Industrial District. First reading.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Carlos Trejo. I'm the Director of Planning and Community Development for the City of Olivet. And this bill before you tonight is to authorize a special permit use via ordinance for the property at 9315 Olive Boulevard. That property is occupied by Fisher Rosemont, which is a subsidiary of Emerson, which has just improved the property and is partially occupying the property grounds at this time in there. It's the former location of the Enterprise Fleet Management. They have submitted a request to store some outdoor metal storage containers on the property grounds. This is I believe, outside of the parks, our largest property in the city of Olivet. Containers will be kept towards the back of the property, outside of view from Olive and of course Dillman Industrial. 4 neighboring properties already have special permits that authorize outdoor storage in there. I will provide a presentation and a public hearing at our next meeting. Be glad to answer any specific questions on the request.
Council members, if you have any questions, go ahead.
Are the storage units, they're proposed to be permanent there? They're not temporary while they're moving and adjusting?
They will
to
be,
the-
yeah, they won't be permanently placed in the ground. They're loaded and then they're shipped off unlike a traditional manufacturing facility or warehouse where containers come in and they have the wheels in place and they go up to the dock doors and leave. We don't consider those as outdoor storage. These containers will be brought in, put in place, loaded up, and as the process or the manufacturing continues, and then once they're completed, then they'll be picked up and leave, and another container will come in and put it in its place. So they're not going to be like what you would see in a traditional 18-wheeler. Be something that would be picked up from the ground and then placed on a flatbed of some sort. So they in essence, unlike a 18-wheeler, it is a metal container that sits on the ground without any wheels.
Okay, so just for clarification then, so there's 4 that are
They requested for.
requested. So the idea would be that there's basically 4 spaces on this parcel where these structures would be placed, and then they would go, and then another one would come where
Correct.
it's kind of this area that is designated for these storage units, but those storage units will be coming and going.
That is correct.
Okay.
To complicate it just a little bit, just to clarify. They initially requested for, in the commission review, this is a good business for the city of Olivet. This is a very large parcel and it's pretty well hidden, and 4 of their neighbors already have outdoor storage, whether it's pipes, metals, or things of that nature. In discussions with the commission, we authorized to increase that up to not to exceed 8, to give them a little bit more flexibility over time on the parcel grounds.
For this specific parcel.
That is correct.
Yeah, this parcel has significant storage in this area in the back that you can show in the next reading, but large area that's quite hidden.
Okay.
Okay, you have questions?
So, Mr. Trejo, I understand that when you picture this building, you can't see this from the street because it's behind.
That is correct.
So when you drive down that main, it's not Alice anymore. We changed the name of the street.
It's Dillman Industrial.
Gilman
and-
Industrial. Oh, when you drive down it, you wouldn't be able to see the storage units from.
No, the
from your-
building is pretty significantly
Right.
large, and where they're kind of cratered is at the northeast corner where the railroad track or essentially the future bike trail kind of comes across around that.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Does traffic, is there access already for the?
Correct.
storage?
We've had the fire marshal go through that and made sure that their access around the building is successful. It's a pretty large lot. It's a good sized lot.
Well, if no one else has any other questions, Mr. Trejo, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
All right, we will have second reading on July 22nd. Now we're going on to item number 8, judge reappointment.
Yes, so every 2 years, the city council is asked to reappoint the judge. Our current judge is John Paul Frisella, who is here this evening. And so staff is recommending to reappoint Judge Frisella for another 2 years.
Okay. I would like to entertain a motion for that. At least for someone to please read the requested action.
I would like to make a motion to reappoint Judge John Paul Frisella as the judge for a 2-year term.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, can we please poll the council?
Councilmember Lewis,
Approve.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Would you like to say a few words, sir?
Unfortunately, the resident left. I'm very aware of the situation that the resident was addressing. I believe her name is Miss Whitman, I believe, appeared in court. The husband or the male resident of the property has never appeared in court. We formally summoned him at the last court date. So if he fails to appear on this court date, then there will be a warrant put out for him. I know that she doesn't believe that the trailer moving was a big deal, but to me, I was a little bit excited that at least they've taken a baby step, because I was quite stern with her the last court date, because I don't think she was taking it that seriously. However, she had until, I warned her that if she fails to make significant progress, that she's subject to fine every single day that the problem remains, with up to $100 fine per every summons she receives. I think that woke her up a little bit, and so I hope that moves forward. Scott, the code enforcement officer, has been here and spoke to this problem. So we're hoping to, well, we have seen, I guess, a little bit of activity, but we're hoping to have this matter done, and if not, we'll deal with it accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, so we are aware, and I felt bad. I just kind of wanted to come up and talk. but,
Well, thank you
Okay,
for at
yes.
least addressing it.
all right. Anything else?
Welcome back for
All
another
right.
2 years.
Thank you. I'm kind of excited.
All right.
I enjoy it.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go on to item number 9, board and commission appointments. Ms. Shackley.
So we have a list that I'll put up here in a minute of everybody that needs to be renewed for their term on their respective board. And then we have also added the folks that you interviewed a week ago and chose to put on uh, in the various openings. So you can see your slate of candidates in front of you. This is everybody who's up for renewal and everybody that's new. And so unless you have any questions, the council can make a motion to approve the slate of candidates.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to have approval of the slate of appointees to fill board and commission vacancies beginning August 1st, 2025, with terms as noted.
Second,
Okay, can we please poll the council?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil,
yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes.
The motion is passed.
Okay, on to item number 10,
Just
authorization.
one, so there was a request by one of the council members to have the terms for all of the commission members and like how long they have been on. So I will tell you that the city clerk has been diligently scouring the minute books to find it. And I think we have sort of drawn a line in the sand as far how far back she can go. It appears that in like prior to 2017, they didn't do them all at one time. And so it really is scouring every meeting minute to find them. So I think we can give you at least a range, or at least as far back as we can go for almost everybody. So we will get that together and distribute that, but like all day today, she's
Well,
working on it.
well,
So
All right, thank
we
you
have
very
not
much.
forgotten.
Thank you.
Okay, item
Thank you,
number.
Ms. Conrad, for your work on that.
Yes, indeed. Item number 10, authorization for the city manager to enter into an agreement with Reliable Tree Services for the removal of 22 ash trees in Olivet Park locations.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, Beverly Tucker Knight, Parks and Recreation Director. So sadly, we have in our region, I'm sure you all know because you all have trees, that we have a severe infestation of the emerald ash borer, and Olivet remained sort of out of the fray for a long time, but we are now seeing the encroachment. So we are in advance of getting into a crisis situation, recommending removal of 22 ash trees. We released an RFP and we received a good list of qualified responses. I was very pleased with the number. So we are recommending that we enter an agreement with Reliable Tree Service. They've done a lot of work with the city of Kirkwood. They come very highly recommended, and we are very confident in their skill level.
Okay,
I'm happy to answer any questions.
council members?
Does this include any trees on the walkway,
On the, on
on the pathway?
You mean on the new Centennial Greenway?
No, on the, between Dealman and Lindley.
I think so. I've got the list right here.
I'm
Hang
sorry.
on.
Okay, so it's not just the park.
No, it does not include, the pathway. I don't think there are ash trees. As I'm thinking about it, I don't think there are ash trees
Okay.
on the pathway. We've taken some trees down in there already. We've already taken down several. This is a
Okay.
concerted effort
Okay.
to take down
Great.
all of the rest
Thank
of
you.
them.
I'm just curious about replacement. Is there anything
Yes.
in the plans to, because that's a significant amount of trees, some of them very large.
It is.
How's that?
Yes. Well, we continue to replace the trees on a regular basis every year. We plant a minimum of 200 trees, sometimes more. Our city horticulturalist does not count the tiny trees we plant. So we actually, in some cases, plant almost 1,000 trees. So the little tiny guys, he only counts something that is a 3-gallon container or larger. So we absolutely will be replacing, if not the exact location, we will be replacing these trees. And there is one ash tree that we're saving and we're treating. We have an ash tree at Warson Park that's healthy, and we've been treating it for 4 years prophylactically to prevent infestation because it is, the last time it was officially measured 2 inches shy of the state champion tree. So we really want to protect that ash. And it looks, when you walk on the Sassafras Trail, you can't miss it. It's a beautiful, beautiful tree. So we will continue to keep that one healthy and alive.
Do we have a tree inventory? for
We
the
do.
park?
We have a tree inventory. It's not 100% up to date, but it's as the best we can. We're considering doing a trim grant in the future to update the whole inventory.
Okay. Do we have any other questions, council? Okay, I would like to entertain a motion.
Make a motion to authorize entering into an agreement with Reliable Tree Services for the removal of 22 ash trees at Stacy, Warson, Herbside, Villa, and Indian Meadows Park for an amount not to exceed $21,150.
Second,
Okay, can we please poll the council?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes.
The motion is passed.
Thank you very much.
It's correct.
Yeah, get that straightened out. All right, item 11, hearing from citizens, part 2. Okay, seeing none, we're gonna go on to item number 12, review and acceptance of minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes that anyone saw?
Did they get all your ends?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Do I need to say the date? Sorry. For June. Oh, I guess we're just doing the council minutes. Sorry, for June 24th, 2025.
Right, do I have a second?
And I'm sorry, and the work session
And the
minutes.
work
Okay,
session.
and the work session minutes for July 1st, 2025.
Second,
All right, can we please poll the council?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
All right, on to item number 13, our city attorney's report.
No report this evening. We do have a closed session immediately following this.
Okay, thank you very much. We're on to item number 14, executive closed session. I would like to entertain a motion to go into closed session for the attorney-client privilege matters.
I'll make a motion to move to executive closed session pursuant to the revised statute of the state of Missouri to discuss attorney-client privilege matters pursuant to section 610.0211.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, can we please poll the council?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
All right. Regular meeting is now closed. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
So be it. Thank you.
Good night and good luck.